What's good, everybody? My name is Candyman, and today I want to show you how I made the beat for Levels by Dudu and MWB Sav.
Level on level, the cup I sip is double. 2 by bitch been trouble. That's so far, make it trouble. Yeah.
Now today, as you can see, I moved to the right. I was watching back the last video and I noticed that some of the things that I was explaining were blocked by my face. So I moved my face over to the other side, and hopefully we won't have that problem this time. So, Levels. We recorded it on the instrumental of DPMO by Digga D, which is a very, you might know it, you might not, but it's a very basic soundscape. I say that a lot. I call things basic a lot. Most music is these days, but it's just a string section playing the 1/5 progression with a female vocal sample over the top, which is done so many times all throughout the genre, but this specific one is just executed to absolute perfection. So we recorded on it, and I had to make a beat under it to replace this one, because obviously we can't use this due to copyright. But no matter how many strings I tried, how many vocal samples I tried, nothing got to that same level or sounded as dope as the original, because the original was just the perfect execution of that formula. So in the end I decided I just gotta do something completely different, and so I found this sample. Which I thought was really dope. It had kind of a tribal vibe to it. So I decided to go off of that. I cut it up and rearranged it a little bit, changed it up just a bit. It was a little bit different than I wanted it, so I made it into this. So yeah, subtle difference there. And then I added some basic compression and reverb on it. And this one, Transpire, just makes the attack a little bit softer. I thought this sounded dope, but the song was very like grim, I guess, kind of sinister. And the sample really wasn't. So in order to try to make it a little bit more sinister, I layered it with this harp from Xenology, the Celtic harp, which I added probably the most effects to out of any instrument on this song. We made it wide, we did some EQing, some compressing, we added 2 delays, a reverb, and then some more EQing. Not like super complex, just a lot of simple stuff layered on top of one another. And then we get this. Which, as you can hear, it does a great job of making the original sample sound a little bit darker, which I thought was exactly what I needed. Then we go into the drums. Now, UK drill has really been evolving lately. They've really been trying to push their sound into different directions, which I think is really dope. But the bass is still there. So in old UK drill, we would take the hi-hats like this. And that's kind of what the whole genre was based around. It was this hi-hat rhythm that like defined the drill genre, because it gave it its very specific bounce. What they do these days is they still keep this same rhythm going, but instead of doing it with a hi-hat, they do it with different sounds. So not one singular sound playing this rhythm, but it's spread out over a couple different sounds. So here I have it on the kick and the snare, and I'm not doing every single hit because it just gives it some pockets of openness that we can fill in later with different sounds. So with just the kick and snare, it would sound like this. So as you can hear, it's a completely different bounce than when we would fill in all the hi-hats with this rhythm, but it does still find its essence there, and I think you notice that, which is really cool. And then we just fill it in with a bunch of different sounds, a lot of different percussion, a couple effects to fill it out, and then we get this little rhythm here. That sounds dope, but it has some very open spots around that just sound kind of empty. That's intentional. We're keeping those there so we can fill it up later with different sounds. To just kind of accentuate everything a little bit more, I added this open hat and this crash into it. It just adds a little bit of more sauce to it, makes it a little bit more interesting. So in modern UK drill, they tend to use different kinds of basses. So for this song, I picked out 4. The first one is this DK bounce from Xenology. Then we have this Benny X bass patch that I made in Vital, which Vital is free, so check it out. And we have this AX Reso bass 3, which this one sounds a lot like the Benny X patch that I made, just a bit more aggressive. And you'll hear in a second why I needed that. But all the basses together would sound like this. Everything together with the drums would sound like this. And the more we add to it, the more you hopefully understand the rhythm and the bounce that we're trying to achieve here. The original beat had this little stutter in it, as you can see right here, which I really loved it, and I thought it was a great kind of signal into a new section. So we use it to kind of signal the listener like, hey, something new is coming, we're either going back into the chorus or we're introducing a new verse. Then over here we get into, this is still the chorus. This is the second part of the chorus where we had to add something. Obviously we couldn't just leave it the same. So we added 2 things. I created this new jazz trumpet lead in Citrus. Citrus is native to FL. And I added a couple effects to it. Some RC20 retro color doing... Yeah, okay. Guess I won't be showing you that. But this is doing most of the heavy lifting. Gives it a lot of pitch wobble and stuff. And then some EQ, delay, and reverb. And this perfectly falls into that empty pocket that I talked about in the drums. And then we layer that with this little cowbell sound, which we panned from left to right. And then in the beat itself, you can hear that it really nicely fills out this initial empty pocket in the drums. Then moving into the verse, we wanted to step it up a bit. The beat had to get a bit more aggressive, so I added this little flute from Xenology called the Flute Echo, which I played just this very simple little melody. I can't show you, but this also has an RC20 retro color on it that does a lot of the heavy lifting. I turned up the digital effect, which is kind of just a big crusher, so it just makes it sound like lo-fi, I guess is the easiest term to describe it. Just brings the audio quality down, which it gets this little kind of ring to it, which I thought was really nice. Because this all together sounds like this. So yeah, both the flute and the harp do a phenomenal job of really raising the aggressiveness and making the beat a lot more sinister. So I wanted this beat to kind of evolve as it went on. I didn't want it to stay the same all the way throughout. So we're kind of taking the energy down a little bit, or not the energy, but we're making it a little bit more relaxing. We're just kind of easing up on the darkness, the sinister stuff. We're switching up the flute to play a different melody. And we're completely getting rid of the harp and the cowbell that we added. And you'll hear when I switch it from this section into the new one, you can feel it kind of slow down a bit, I suppose. At this point, we're on to the second chorus. I didn't want the second chorus to be the same as the first one. So what I did is I added these little suspended chords played on a vibraphone. They don't sound angry or sinister at all, which is kind of the point. I wanted to, when I introduce this second chorus, I wanted it to feel a lot more relaxed, a lot more chill. And then for the second part of the chorus, we just get back in with that harp to really hammer down the aggressiveness of it. So yeah, then we just get back into this, and then we get into the second verse, where we just add the flute back, we just add the vibraphone back, and then right here we have our feature coming in for his second verse. So for his second verse, he went in a lot more aggressively, so I wanted to match that with the beat. So I started out, when his verse comes in, I want you to really lock in on what he's saying and what he's spitting, right? So I just get rid of all the drums. There's no drums here. I only leave the sample, the harp, and the flute. And then to match the aggressiveness of his verse, I thought I'd switch back into the more classic UK drill rhythm. So I added this hi-hat. Which this hi-hat has a lot of bounce to it because I put a little delay on it, which in drill specifically works phenomenally for creating stupendous amounts of bounce. I layered it with this. You probably recognize this sound. It's on the downbeat, and then right here it's on the downbeat again, but with a tape effect on it. See, it just kind of falls down, and then we switch out the bass, which we replace all of those 4 basses with just this clever 808. I love this sound. It's the clever 808 is a sound that blew up during the Opium Bird era, which if you're not a producer, I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but there was this era where every producer was making these Opium Bird type beats, which all had this 808 in it. Super cool sound. Really unfortunate that it never really went anywhere, but we added this bass, and then we add this just absolutely classic trap snare that you've probably heard in 100 other songs, but it feels at home in there. So then everything together. And that's basically the end of the song. That's when there's no more vocals coming. But I thought, let's just end it with a bang. So there's this little breather here, and then we just fully come in with all the classic drums, and then we add a kick onto it. And then at the end, this is basically the outro. We just bring the flute back in one more time, and then the song very abruptly ends right here. So yeah, that's the whole thing. That's how I made it. I hope y'all enjoyed. I'm gonna play the full beat for y'all now so you can hear it start to finish. Hope you enjoyed. Smash like, God is great, and have a good day.